So as you know, I am a crazy person that now runs 4 businesses. That wasn't always the plan. And in the very beginning, I only ran 1 business, but I was running multiple elements of a business. And at one point, I even had 4 jobs. Yeah, I know, I'm a crazy person that apparently doesn't like sleep. But what that has done in the last 4 years is it's given me lots of tips and how to manage that. So as much as it is a little bit of a headache at times, I can manage it. So these tips will help you even if you're not a crazy person that decides to run multiple businesses at one time. So obviously, time is the biggest element of that that's going to really help you. Time is precious. You never get it back. So don't waste it scrolling cat videos and cat memes. They're useless. They're not going to help you in any way. Unless obviously you're a cat business, that might help. So plan your time, your to-do list, your social media. Scheduling is absolutely your friend. I get asked a lot, how do you manage 3 Facebook pages, 2 groups, a LinkedIn, a Twitter, an Instagram? And I'm like, schedule. Scheduling is my friend, and it's the only way I get anything done. So on my diary, I colour code and I time block my whole week. Literally from to-do list, appointments, when I'm at work, when I have to leave to drive, when I have to eat so that I've had enough time to eat. It might sound crazy, but if I don't put it in my diary, I don't eat and then go, I need to leave in half an hour and I need to eat and get ready. So I plan that in my diary. I plan my downtime. I never used to plan my downtime, but I now put in when to have a break. When to have a break, because otherwise, particularly now with having my pub coming back in, I've lost my weekends again. So I have to plan my downtime. For me, I have to colour code. I am dyslexic. So for me, every business or thing I have to do has a colour. In the beginning, I was freelance and I had multiple contracts. So I had a notebook per contract, I had a folder per contract, and each one had a colour in my diary. Those colours have kind of sticked. So for me, anything related to kids and CDP is orange because my original colours were orange. So that's just stuck, even though my colours are now purple. I still go with orange. My network marketing stuff is red. Don't know why it's red, it's just red. Part-time job is pink. Personal stuff for me and Dan is light blue. My to-do list is dark blue. Networking is dark green. My wedding stuff is purple. So each thing has got a colour. So even if I don't physically look at the diary in terms of the actual things, I know by the colour what I've got to do. It helps me plan. So time blocking, literally from everything, because like I said, at one point I had 4 part-time jobs. Yeah, 4 part-time jobs. That was fun. My other thing, timer. When I have a big task like content writing, blogs, planning my evergreen content, working out my content for the month, I whack the timer on, stick my phone on airplane mode, I shut the door, no one is allowed to contact me until that hour or 2 hours is up, because it's the only way I'm going to get anything done. If I'm constantly the door going in and out, or my phone pinging left, right and centre, or whatever it is, I'm never going to get that done. And then I'm going to get to the end of the day, go, oh, I've now got to roll that on to the next day and the next day and the next day. And then if I've got work on that day, so like today, I've got work later, that's not going to work. So time is your friend. You don't have to go all fancy like this. You could just put a timer on your phone. And it allows you to focus and not get distracted. That's been my one thing, is squirrels. And I don't mean the furry animal that climbs the tree. I mean the shiny thing that takes you away from the thing you're supposed to be doing. So for me, like I say, time blocking and the timer massively help me. One thing that people don't often think about in the very beginning is their accounts and outsourcing it. So I started doing my accounts in the beginning because I didn't have any money, didn't have a budget, was like, yeah, I can just do it myself on these software programs. They're all online. syncs with your bank account, reconcile, done, submit your tax return. I've now found, since having an accountant in the last 2 years, there were things that I never claimed for in the beginning. I never claimed for the household bills because I lived at home, I lived with my mum. But I could have claimed a percentage of the fact that I was working from home and using the internet and the heating and the water. But I never claimed for it because I was like, oh, mum pays for it. Why do I need to claim? But actually, I'd use the home as an office. So now I make sure that my accountant does claim that in because I didn't claim it for the first 2 years. So the taxman, if they could look and go, well, where did you run your business from? Because you've not put any household bills through. But knowing what you can and can't claim for. So for me in particular, gym clothing, because I wear a lot of leggings and trainers for doing all my dance classes. Can't claim them even though I buy them specifically for the teaching and I don't use them for doing workouts or things. Can't claim them because it's a grey area of whether it's business or not. If it's branded, then I can claim it. So just buy branded clothing for business and then it's sorted. So making sure that you are claiming that. Are you claiming your mileage? Little things like you've gone and picked up a delivery, you've gone and dropped off to a customer, you've arranged a meeting with someone and you've had to drive there. Are you claiming that mileage? Or are you only claiming for the physical? So for me, I was only claiming for going to and from my classes, wasn't claiming for going to networking, wasn't claiming when I was having a meeting, I basically just wasn't claiming enough. And then luckily was still getting quite a bit of money back because I hadn't earned enough, but there was a lot more I could have claimed for. So now I make sure I claim for the right things. Are your receipts up to date? There's so many tools you can use. Receipt Bank or any other receipt apps are brilliant. Scan it, send it across to your accountant, they reconcile and do all the fancy stuff. Or do you get to the end of the tax return with a shoebox, or I know some people have it in a carrier bag and go, there you go, there's a year's worth of tax receipts to sort through. Your accountant's not going to like you very much and they're probably going to charge you for it. So doing your receipts as you go along, it also saves space on your laptop because you haven't, all these electronic receipts that you now get, do you just store them in your emails and then wonder why your laptop keeps going, you've got no space? You send your receipt off to your accountant, you can then delete the email and then you've got more space on your laptop. So outsourcing for certain elements can work. Accounts is the only thing I currently outsource. I will eventually at some point outsource my social media because Headspace of 4 businesses gets a little bit, so there will be things that as I progress, I will start outsourcing more. But for now, I'll start with the accounts and the nitty gritty technical term. In terms of networking, is your message clear? So I've networked with several people over the years. A couple of people I still could not tell you what they do. Even though I've met them on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or whatever, I still could not tell you what they do as a business. Partly because they flit and change like I did. And I've had people say to me, what do you actually do? Like, I get that you're a dancer, but what do you actually do? As soon as I made it clear, they're like, oh, I never knew you did that. Yeah. So are you clear? Do you focus on one element of a business and forget about a different element of your business that is actually really important and gets you the most money, but you never tell people about it? It's simple. Like, you've got to treat people like they're kids and like they don't know a lot, and be really simple, plain English, no jargon, just this is what I do. Tell them plainly and simply. Don't try and mask it in a way of, oh, well, I kind of help you with this, and well, I'm this fancy entrepreneur. I hate that word, because that doesn't mean anything to anyone. Tell me you can get me organised. That will help. And yeah, don't hide behind your logo, because people don't buy the logo. They buy this. They buy people. So if you don't tell them what they do, it's not going to work. And it's probably why you think the networking doesn't work. It's not the networking doesn't work. People just don't know what you do to be able to buy from you or refer business to you. And likewise, do you follow up? Hold my hand up. I don't follow up. I'm a nightmare for it. Mainly because I've built relationships with people outside of networking that sometimes when I've met them at networking, I kind of don't see the point in sending a message. But how nice would it be for those of us that we see each other on a weekly basis, maybe a day or 2 days later go, oh, it was really great to see you at that meeting the other week. You're looking really well. It's all following up needs to be. It doesn't have to be this icky, really love your business, it'd be great to this, great to that. You can do that if there is someone that you're like, oh my God, we need to have a one-to-one, we can definitely work together. But sometimes it can just be, great to see you the other day, you're looking fab, or oh, we should just meet up for a coffee for the sake of meeting up for a coffee. So follow up, but do what you say you will do. If someone's asked for some information, or you say, oh, I'll ring you in a couple of days and we'll arrange a chat, stick it in your diary that you're going to do that and do it. Because then people will remember you, because we're all busy. We all have lots of things to do and we're selfish. We focus on us and no one else. But how nice is it to get that message going, oh, great to see you the other day. Loved it. We should just have a chin wag, because life's short and business isn't the be all and end all. If you're not a pen and paper person, which I'm kind of both, I have to have a paper diary. I've tried electronic, doesn't work for me in terms of my colour coding. I have to have it down on paper. However, I've also started using Trello. So Trello is an online tool that can help you organise your brain onto screen. So for me at the minute, I'm trying to organise all of my social media, because I know I've got 4 years worth of content and I never remember where the image is, what the image related to. I'm organising it onto Trello, because then I know where it is. And then if I get to a point where I'm going, I have no idea what I need to share today, I know I've got a piece of content that I can just whack out and it will still work. So building that kind of evergreen content. Or if you're planning something, if you're planning someone's big birthday and it's a surprise and you need to contact the venue, you need to contact your guest list and the different bits you need to organise, put it on Trello, because you can then share it with multiple people. So if you're working as a team, you can share that Trello board out, and then you haven't got to do ping pong email. No one's got time for ping pong email. Sorry. Nah. Trello, they can just add in their bits when they've done it. It's a bit like post-it notes. You have like a to-do list, and then once it's done, move it over. Then your to-do list will actually get shorter, because you've moved things to show that they're completed, compared to having a paper to-do list that you cross something off and then 5 minutes later you've added 5 more things back on it. So you feel like you've got a never-ending to-do list. Put it on Trello. You can organise a to-do list per thing that you need to do, whether it is the accounts of actually, yeah, I know my accountant's going to be contacting me because they're going to want to do their monthly or quarterly reconcile. Oh, I need to get those receipts ready. And whacking it out and marking it off as doing. And it can remind you of those things. So if you're not going to have a paper diary and you don't like having a diary, but you need to remind yourself when to do things, Trello can remind you, and you'll get an email to go, oh, you need to ring Sarah today. And off you go and ring Sarah. And you sort out that chin wag. It's fab. Personal development, as Jodie says, I am a serial networker. I'm also a serial personal development. However, squirrel. There is some personal development that I've done over the last 4 years that I should never have paid the money for, should never have looked at. I fell for the fancy sales page because it sounded amazing and things might have been challenged at times. Like, yeah, that's what I need. I need to go and learn how to build a sales funnel. No. I need to learn how to be a better speaker. No. I need to learn how to write a book. No. personal development I needed to do was in here. So courses are great. Just be mindful of the outcome that is advertised for the course and whether it's the right thing for you at that time, because some of them do cost a lot of money. Reading is great. Reading is fab. If you don't like a book, listen to an audiobook, listen to podcasts. There's so many different ways that you can listen to bite-size elements of books or top people within certain industries. Speaking as personal development, networking has massively helped me with my confidence, putting me out there, speaking. 4 years ago, I would never have jumped last minute to step in and talk. Yet yesterday, talking with Jodie, and I knew that she needed a gap, and went, yeah, fine, I've got something I can pull out. Wouldn't have done that 4 years ago. It took me 1.5 years till I ever spoke. Now I jump at the chance. The reason for squirrels, it's kind of a thing that a previous mentor of mine called them, that it's just that shiny thing, that it's the distraction that takes you away from what's supposed to be doing. And obviously squirrels dart around a bit, so you kind of seem like you're darting around, hence why I say squirrels. And I don't mean the furry animal. Mindset has been the biggest challenge for me over the 4 years. It's only recently that I've got a hang of it and really understand it. It was very woo-woo for me of, oh, work on your mindset, positive mindset, positive. Blech. It was woo-woo. I love the woo-woo, but it was definitely too woo-woo for me in the beginning. And in the beginning, and Jodie is going to tell me off for this, but she will understand why in a minute. I always put myself down and said, couldn't do it, I'm not old enough, I only started my business at 22, I don't know anything, you're all older than me, you're all better than me. Instead of, I started my business at 22 and I'm now 26 with 4 businesses. Yes, I still have a job, but I have 4 businesses and that job is temporary. But for 3.5 years, I kept saying I wasn't good enough to be doing this because I'd fell straight from education into running a business. Had no idea what I was doing, but I was doing it. Yeah, I fell out of education. I muddled along to make a business, but I'm still here. I could have easily given up and gone, not good enough, I'll just go and get a job. Anyone that knows me knows that getting a job is never an option. It's a very last resort of getting a job. But mindset, anything, can be a bit woo-woo, but find something that works for you, because not everything works for everyone. But my last point, I think, because I'm rambling, so my last point, be consistent. If you're only going to go to one network, go to that one network consistent. Don't flit in and out, because people aren't going to get to know you enough. You've got to be consistent with it. Try some of the networking, some of the paid ones. They might be paid, but sometimes they're better than the freebies, because some freebies, people have that free mindset that, just turn up for a coffee. They don't always take it seriously and don't think of what they're actually going there for. You've got to value it, because whilst you might not have paid for it, it's your time. You've still taken 2 hours out of your day for a coffee. So free, be careful of the freebies, because they can be hiding that actually you're escaping from what needs to be done. And my final one is goals and vision. Have a vision board, although I'm turning my vision board into more of an action board. Set the steps to achieve them, because my favourite quote, which I always come back to when I'm having a bit of a meh day, and I'm going to have to get it out because I didn't write it down, can't remember it, is... So it's all about dreams, goals, action, and actually taking the action, because it's the only way that you progress forward is by taking that action. So the quote that I love is, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action becomes reality. It's all well and good having these dreams and these goals. If you don't action or plan how you're going to achieve them, that's all they'll ever be.